into Gears of War. I feel like it's a organization that just fits with this community. But also, I'm excited about this Rise team. I think this squad's actually going to be pretty solid. We saw them do rather well in the previous 2K. Lots of potential here.
Yes, and with Pool C, we have Ghost Gaming, a team for the first time ever played in a championship game against Optic Gaming. Blaze, what are your thoughts?
You know what, they did so many great things in Mexico City, and the question is, can they get back to that point? But they're also playing against a Fable team who I consider one of a top 5 team in the entire world. Not just the best team in Europe, which they are, but a top 5 team in the world. And this pool is the most interesting one for me because I feel like Fable has what it takes to pull this game away.
Yes, and with Pool D to wrap things up, United. First event, they placed top 4. Second event in Mexico, top 3. Waldo, do you think that they can keep climbing that ladder?
I think that team has a lot of potential. They've been doing really well on online 2Ks. They've been performing better. They're getting better every event. But the main storyline that I like out of this is World's Best or United are going to have a rematch that they had in pool play for Mexico City. My big question is if World Best can come out and actually show up on Friday. But then you also can't sleep on the fact that Supremacy, the number 2 team in Europe, is in that pool as well.
Yes, you talk about Friday, but also I always like to say it's any given Sunday. But I will thank you for that. But I'm so excited for our first match of the day. It's going to be Ronin against Rise Nation. I am so excited for this matchup today. Ronin against Rise Nation. Waldo, what can we expect from this Ronin roster?
The big thing that I expect from the Ronin roster is that they're coming off a 9-12 placement in Mexico City. They had a rough go at it. What they're trying to do here is figure out their chemistry, their teamwork. Hopefully in the map pick-in bans, they can, you know, ban out some of their strakes, pick something that they're going to be a little bit more comfortable on. But you can't sleep on this Rise Nation team.
Yes, and Blaze, what about Rise Nation?
You know what, Rise Nation, they have so much talent on their team. when you think about the young players in the Vexies, also in Zerpting as well, also with the leadership that they have around them, and Franco and Drix, Mortify's new rising star on the circuit, these guys have all the pieces to go out and place top 4. We seen what they did to Optic in that last 2K and making it toward on Gears Fight Night in the 2K finals against E United. But this team has been getting better and better, Vel. And you know what? I'm expecting big things out of them. They can definitely pull away with this matchup.
Expecting big things. They actually played in the last 2K championship game as a new event at your first, as a new team at your first event. How big is it that you make a statement day one?
Oh, I mean, without a doubt. Like, you have to be able to come out of the gate swinging. You need to let everyone know that you are here to play the game, you're here to win, you're here to be a champion. And I think this Rise team, especially with that victory against Optic Gaming, that's huge. They won, what was that, 2-1 in that one? Like, that's a big victory. And although they did fall to E United at the end of the 2K there, still, it speaks volumes to be able to take out a team like Optic Gaming, a multi-time Gears Pro Circuit champion. That's what you want to see. I have high hopes for this team in this matchup.
And speaking of Rise Nation, who is the X factor on that team?
You know, if you're looking at it, I'm really looking at Drix and Franco to come out big for that team. They're the veteran leadership on that roster. Yeah. You need these players to show up big. They're very consistent on LAN, and you need to keep a level head, especially for players like Zerpting and Avexies who like to play a lot of head-down, aggressive shotgun play.
Yes, so Ronin, they have not played well as of late. What do they need to do to actually make a statement here in Las Vegas?
You know what? Ronin just has to get back to get their mojo back, so to speak.
Yes.
You know, the highest placement that we saw on his team was that second place in Paris last year. And even with the loss of Identities, this team has been trying to get back to that top spot. But hopefully with Monkeys on the roster, you know, I've heard so much about the kid, about him and his slaying prowess. Hopefully the trio between him, Designite, and Chaos will be enough to get them back in that top spot.
Yeah. Yes, and here we're looking at our map bans and picks. We're starting off on Harbor, Reclaimed, and Forge. Waldo, what type of gameplay can we expect on Harbor?
Harbor's going to be a really heavy winch fight. You're going to see a lot of stuff going on the back side of Stern. I definitely see that Rise are going to be playing super aggressive off the start here, and it's on Ronin to try to counter that aggression and outplay them in the rotations.
So to have a little fun right now, we see the maps that they're picking. What are your predictions?
Waldo?
I'm going to say 2-1 Rise right now. I have a lot of confidence in this team. I think they can shake up the bracket, and honestly, this is a must-play. They should come out second here.
They really should. You know what, and I'm going to have to, you know, part of me, my gut feeling is telling me that Rise can definitely come out on top in this matchup. But Ronin, man, you know, they're so talented, and we're going to see if their preparation, we know they was preparing a lot yesterday, getting a, you know, a little local land going on and getting that warm-up against Ghost. So we'll see if that translates into their gameplay today.
So, Golden Boy, are you going to give the same answer, or are you going to be different?
I mean, you know, listen here. I always like to be that guy.
Okay.
And you can be that guy.
You know, I can be that guy. It's my first time here, so I don't want to anger too many people. But I personally feel like Rise comes out with the win, and I think it's actually just going to be a 2-0. I think that Ronin is... Yeah, and the reason why I say that is because, you know, in other games, when you include another player, you know, like, I guess right before an event, it takes time for you to create that chemistry with that player. Now, granted, I think a lot of these players are just going to fly at one another. I think they're just going to fly at one another, and they're just going to try and beat the crap out of one another in the national battles, and that's literally what we're going to see. Because I don't know if we're going to get the tactical crosses. I don't know if we're going to make it happen. So, honestly, I'm saying 2-0 Rise, and they're just going to fly at them.
Well, it's funny that you speak about tactical crosses. So, Drix came from Ghost Gaming. They were a top 3 team all of Season 1. Drix brings something special to that team. So, in Gears of War, you have flashy gameplay, but you have a handful of players that actually play for their teammates. Waldo, what does Drix do so well for his roster?
He does a really good dimension of knowing how to rotate, when to take fights, and when to back off, and that's something that you really need, especially against teams that play over-aggressive on you.
Yeah, and I don't know if we're in the game already, but we might as well just jump into it.
I'm ready. I'm ready.
I'm ready, because it seems like a round with just one. So we might as well jump into it. I think Rise ended up just taking round 1.
No, Ronin did.
Ronin did. Okay, so whenever we get a moment, we could just go into the game.
Let's definitely, Blaze. What would you say the keys of victory are?
The keys of victory is just going to be, you know, just play your game. It's as simple as that. Just playing your game. But, you know, Rise, we're learning what their play style is, you know, and it's a more methodical play style. They also, at the same time, they have the slaying powers in those young guns on the team. So I think Rise, they have what it takes. But
okay, so Ronin, they're a team where they fly at you. They're fearless. They're reckless. With that type of play style, excel against Rise's, you know, passive-aggressive setups.
It will, because Ronin is confident. They're so confident in what they do. And they're so confident with Monkey's on this team. And, you know, they've got a lot of practice in yesterday, and I think they're going to find their groove. They're going to find their groove in this matchup.
Yes. Yeah. So with that roster, we saw Chaos. He got, what, Waldo, 52 kills? Almost tying the most kills ever in Gears of War on land.
Yeah, he did.
So,
I mean, what can you say when they when you have players that can slay like that and put up that kind of performance? It actually will help your team a lot, because then it takes the pressure off of everybody else. But at the same time, you have to be super consistent in doing that, and I don't know if Chaos can drop 52 consistently.
Well, speaking consistency, Ronin, they've had trouble with that. They can take maps off of the best teams in the game, but also they lose those games. So what do they need to do this event to change things up? We know that their slaying ability is there, but do they have the teamwork, the team fire, to actually compete against the best teams?
I think that they do. I think that's some of the dimension of the team. Like, one of the things in Gears is teams have to learn how to utilize team fire and when you have to take certain fights, and a lot of times teams like to be really aggressive all the time. Sometimes you have to pull the throttle back, focus on what you're trying to do, and take the objectives versus, oh, we're going to go slay out for kills and fight on the wrong side of the map for no reason.
Right. So, Golden Boy, I mean, you've been around for a while. Rise actually beat Optic in the last 2K. A team coming out and making a statement like that, do you think that they can join the ranks of the top 3, which belongs currently to Ghost Gaming, Echo Fox, and Optic?
I mean, without a doubt. You know, it's all a matter of like how much effort and how much work they're going to put into it. And I think joining this Rise organization is actually going to allow them to do that, because Rise is as legit as it comes when it comes to like esports organizations. So they just need to be able to have that backing, have that support to be able to perform at a high level. And I think that that's what they're going to get with this new organization. That being said, though, you look at just the domination of Optic Gaming and kind of the way that the top has just sat there for such a long time now.
5 events straight so far.
5 events straight, like, that's not a fluke. That's just pure skill, pure domination, pure talent. I agree with you, Blaze.
Yeah, you know, as you finish your point, I'm just up here watching this matchup, because you know, I'm pretty sure this game is going to go on as we fix this technical issue. But Ronin is currently up 2-0. And yeah, on this harbor map, and just even going into this harbor, you know, this is a Rise Nation map pick. And one reason why they picked this map is that you have this duo in Zergting and the Vexings that kind of plays that Winch and Stern area very, very well. But you also got some powerful Ronin players and some talented players that you got to go up against. Yeah. And also at the same time, we've seen these guys play this map against United in that 2K. And when it comes down to those long-range weapons, you have players like a Vexies, you have Drix on your team who is able to make those clutch shots as well. But also, you got to be careful even if you want to put an Ember on this map, because you have players like Chaos who are so dominant with it, Detonite as well.
I think the other thing with the map like Harbor is it has a very high winch control, which gives you range of sight over the entire middle of the map. So it gives you a lot of options, and if you control the winch, you can control mostly the middle of the rotations on the map to go to the B hill. And it ends up being like the anchor point on the map. You have to go and contest that. You can't let teams sit in there for free, cross you out, and keep vision on your team in the middle of when you're trying to rotate across the map.
Yeah.
Yes. So Optic Gaming, 5 events straight. They lost 1 series so far in Season 2. Rise Nation defeated them in the last 2K. Do you guys think we're going to see the same old story this event? Optic Gaming just dominating everybody.
I see no reason why we wouldn't.
Yeah, I was going to say, until showed otherwise.
Right.
Until somebody else shows me otherwise, and it has to go that way to my prediction. And a lot of people always ask me, who's winning this event? I tell them, ask me that question Saturday evening. Because Saturday evening, I'm going to know who showed up to play.
So no brave predictions at all?
No. You know, it's not a brave prediction. I can tell you Optic.
Okay.
You know, I can tell you Optic if that's what you want me to do.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Without a doubt. But I know that we're waiting for the game to happen here in a little bit, Belly. So I think I think we have some side station matches to jump into too.
Oh yes, I would love to jump in that. We actually have.
We're going to be having Motivate. I see Motivate, and they're going to be playing.
Just jump over.
And they're going to be playing against World's. No, this is they're playing against World's Best, right?
Yeah, that looks like World's Best and Motivate. So we're going to jump into that one. Might as well. And, you know, because while we wait for what's going on the main stage here, right now we're going to be on Feature Station C. As we had mentioned before, World's Best,
No, actually, no. This is going to be the match, and yeah. Going to be checking this one out, and you know, having as we get everything else sorted out. But looking at this, going to be on board with Heza, and we're going to see what the score count is soon as we catch up with this one. But you're going to have hesitation. It's going to be pushing in. Looking to kind of catch some more kills. So far, you look at the scoreboard, you're going to have a good lead for Motivate so far. Now, as we're watching this one, folks, as we get everything else sorted out. All right, on board with Pale. We're going to see what he can do. I also want to see what the round count is as we get a chance as well. So we'll see how that goes down.
Try Motivate. We're going to see them later on, as a matter of fact, against Optic Gaming. So I'm kind of pumped for this team. You guys have been speaking about DeFazio quite a bit, as a matter of fact. So I know that he's kind of had Ben's heart, from what I understand.
Yeah, he has. You know, me, DeFazio and Ben, we have a nice little family relationship going on. That's our little son, so to speak.
That's your child.
Yes, it is. DeFazio, he has been that player that has been on the come up. And we've seen him do some special things this season so far. But, you know, just to even briefly touch base on this Motivate team, we haven't spoke too much about them so far, but they are extremely talented.
Yeah.
You have Pell on this team, who during the offseason was a fill-in for Optic Gaming, and won his first event with them in New York at the regional. So Pell being very talented. Heza is a complete slayer. DeFazio, a great team leader. Soto, he used to play with that dominant team, Envious Roster, back in the day. He has some championships under his belt as well. But this is going to be an important matchup, because if you're in this pool, GB, you know that, hey, Optic Gaming most likely is going to come out in first.
It's a battle for second at that point.
Exactly. And so these two teams, it's going to be a crucial situation for them.
All right, well, let's see what Anthrax is going to do as they're rotating over to A. Getting dangerously close, though, to losing this one out, so they're going to have to force this one. Get on top of that, because all they need is this one hill, and if they get that, they pretty much get the W's. They're going to push in. Here comes Critical. Makes his way forward, but they're still holding it down. 200 points across. They're looking for the B hill as well. They're going to just get down all over the place. But still, though, despite the best efforts, it is not going to be enough, and that will be a swarm victory there.
All right, so there we go. There's our score count. We're going to have Motivate up 2-0, and that's pretty much expected. Just that's pretty much expected for now, as we get these guys continue to go on. So still in map number 1, as we get everything else sorted out. So still early on. I'm just happy that the action has finally started, G.
I couldn't agree more. I could not agree more. But let's see what the choice is going to be here for Critical. What is he going to elect to put down? He's going to kind of control the pace here just a little bit. And it seems like a M-bar, perhaps, by statue.
Yeah.
There it is.
Okay, little M-bar placed on statue. So you take a look at the weapons on the Mac. You're gonna have the marks. You're gonna have the M-bar down as well. So that marks that's gonna be for those long-range engagements. Being able to help your teammates as you guys fight for control over that B. But with that M-bar being placed on the other side of the map, you're gonna be forcing a 1v1 or so towards that area. Okay.
Well, I was told that we're going to be jumping over to our main stage game in just a little bit. So as soon as that happens, we're going to get into the action, and we'll be sure to give you guys an update on this matchup. But for the time being, though, we're going to stay on board, and DeFazio and the boys are just bouncing all over the place, just absolutely running through. Red all over it. That's going to be 4 down here. And this is looking like a big push for Motivate, and domination coming through 2 seconds. No one's going to be there to contest it, and they're just running away with this one. You were speaking highly of this Fable team, though.
No, exactly. Yeah, I was speaking. This is going to be the Fable Latin American team, so we're going to have 2 on pool play. One is going to be the second best team in Latin America, and the other one is going to be the best team in Europe. They have 2 teams rocking their organization, but folks, we're about to hop over to our main stage match. Finally, Rise Nation versus Ronin. As you can see, Rise is sitting at 3-0, and actually I want to say that's going to be backwards. So we're actually going to have Ronin at 3-1. So Ronin getting off to a good start, and we all set up here. We predicted Rise to come out on top, but they just got their first round. But G, one thing is I always say with escalation is that usually it kicks off around round 4 or 5. That's when we start to see who's really pulling away with this one.
Well, Drix sees 2 players are going to be pushing up on C, and he wants to get a little aggressive as I believe they're going to have Embar looking right over. And Drix waiting this one out, waiting for that prime opportunity. And then you have Zerpting here as well with that.
So to even kind of go over the weapon placement just a little bit more, we had Botok placed and we had Embar placed on the map as well. And so both these teams, as I said before in a little pregame, very, very talented with that Embar. We're going to see Sleeper pick up a headshot on Drix with that Botok. But in this position, Rise Nation has control, and we're about to watch Ronin get on the offense and try to retake this power position on the top side of the map.
Big opportunity now to go ahead and take control of the Stern. Zerpting having to fight everyone there, but the nades come through, clears them out. Vexies, goodbye, my friend. Ronin in full control as they're going to push forward toward A, and that Boltok laying down a lot of heavy damage right along the flank here as well. Sleeper, give him the hands, baby. He's going to just play around A. I love what I'm seeing here from Ronin. I honestly did not expect this at all, Blaze.
So you know what I love right there? That quick transition and that aggression from Ronin.
Oh, that's just disrespectful.
When we joined this match, we saw Ronin kind of sit on their home hill, playing back. They were waiting for that prime opportunity to attack. We saw Sleeper pick up that Botok headshot, and at that point, Ronin was able to push up, get control over that Stern and Witch. They got the kills in the process as well. Also, with us being on 18-second respawns, it gave them enough time to use their numbers off that first initial Botok headshot from Sleeper to get control over that neutral hill and get control over Rise's home hill at the same time. So, weapon placement on the board. We're going to see what goes down. We see the blocks up top. We're going to have Embar placed down, Botok's down low, Ensign's on the map. This is usually going to be a nade position. Don't want to, especially with Embar on the map, don't want to put any bigger power weapons down, because then at that point the map's going to start to get chaotic. And a lot of these teams, you know, they like things to be, you know, cool, calm, and collected.
Yeah, you just don't want to overload it, right? You don't want to throw down, boom, long shot, just have like the field day out there.
You know, it's like, hey, you know, you're gonna have your main course, you're gonna have your side dishes, okay? You're not trying to, you know, have the steak,
listen,
the
and as
chicken,
a French fry connoisseur kind of guy, you know, I'm okay with some nades. You know what I'm saying?
I'm cool with the peas. All right, let's get some peas on the map, man.
Oh, man.
But on board with Chaos in this round, he's going to be pushing around, getting control over that winch. That's going to be a prime position because of how much control you can get over the map. But the double nade kill coming out of Monkeys, this is his first match on the main stage, and so far he's been showing up. 2 more kills coming out as well. Now we'll see how can Rise respond.
They need to go ahead and get some kind of control here, and it seems like they are going to be able to flip C for the time being as Desanide pushes up. That is going to be the Rise home that they have, so that fight's going to be very interesting as the respawn timer continues to increase. Monkeys, that new pickup, has been doing some work for this squad. Over to Desanide, and they have that Embar again. And, you know, that is one thing, I mean, we saw in that last round, right, while they weren't necessarily you know, Rise weren't necessarily hitting the shots with it. It's just good that Desanide was able to just get possession of that, keep it away from them, even if you're not hitting shots yourself.
Exactly.
You just want to keep that away from the enemy hands there.
At least you're holding on to it. That's the most important thing. On board reserve, trying to get some shots in. He's going to have some teammates here to help him out as well. You see the Lancer work coming out of Rise, forcing them back. Chaos will get down. We'll see if Rise can capitalize on his down. Not sure if they can, but what they do have is they have map position. Now, they need to get somebody closer to that B hill down low, because Drix is in a position at the winch, but they need to be very, very, they need to react quickly in a spot. You're going to see Ronin start to bring this lead up, but Rise has the lead. That's where they're kind of taking their time. They're not pressed for time just yet, and they have map control.
Yeah, they know that they're going to have to push up, and now B is going to start being flipped. Embar for Desanide hasn't really found anything with that at all, as Dezo just waits it out here. Wants to just get that one hit, wants to get that one kill that's just going to open it up and allow them to go in for that push. And here it goes. Fight happening. Nice shot there as Zerpting take a seat. Back to the respawn you go. Desanide, that's what you want, man. You just want to be able to nail those shots, put that pressure on, flip that in your advantage. The Vexies with those nades, so you got to look out for that. But
that's
Drix,
a good headshot for him. You know,
exactly.
You see how it opened it up for Ronin to get in and take control over that high side of the map. If you have a height advantage in any game, it's going to do wonders for your team. You're going to have that advantage over your opponent. So, getting some kills as well. You're going to start to see this B control go in favor of Ronin. Chaos is going to get that new Embar off the respawn. So now, we're going to have Ronin with 2 in their hands, and they got map control as well, picking up these kills. They're going to be on top. This is actually going to be their home hill they're on top of, just trying to clean the rest of their kills. And actually, I think that's your opponent's home hill. Now,
domination.
End out the round.
He's got the M-Bar looking right at him, and he was able to go in there and stop it. Huge kill there from Mortify. He's taking out Sleeper, but look at that there. The M-Bar yet again.
But the most important part is that Rise Nation are getting any points in the situation. Chaos has top map control, and when this guy goes up there to try to cap that hill, he's going to rep his M-Bar and try to get that shot. But right now, it's going to be a little bit too little, too late, because, you know, you see it. They can't get to the other side of the map and decap that home hill and Ronin.
They're just going to have to concede defeat on this one, because that is basically going to be a wrap on that. But still, though, not bad at all. 5-1 for Ronin. Honestly, man, I just did not expect this.
You know, Ronin, they had a lot of good practice yesterday, and they are the best team in Latin America. And Monkeys, what we're seeing is also with a new coach as well, because Choche, he's going to actually be playing this event for the Fire and Ice Latin American squad. But what we're seeing is how the Monkeys affect on his team for the very first time, and also the new coaching as well. Ronin, they're feeling comfortable. They got their reps in early this event, and we'll see what they can do.
Ronin with a 5-1 lead. If you're just joining us, this is our first matchup here at the Gears Pro Circuit, Las Vegas Open. The fight for the Stern takes place. It is going to be all COG control. It will be all Ronin. Some of the members from Rise try and push up, but Desanite has such a good angle there. He's able to try and force people back. And look at that. It's Chaos. Pushes forward, gets that kill. They have E presence. And this so far, Blaze, has just been a clinic that Ronin has been putting together.
Yes, it has been. You know what? They've just had full control over this map the entire time. They've been doing so well. And now they're looking to get in. And folks, this is you know, post-halftime. So these hills did flip. So we do have a new set of home hills. And now they're just looking to get in and get control. They're going to get one more. So Ronin, they're in a good spot, and now also they're top, locking down control. But now Rise will be able to get up there and clean up those kills. So Rise is going to have that 2-1 hill advantage.
See if they're going to be able to maintain this here. Very close game between them currently, and Tezzanite just gets absolutely chunked. Avexy's in the crew. They push up. They've owned it. They got it. The Stern is theirs, and now they're going to focus on that mid control here. See if they can go and push into the home here and end this one. Be able to bring it back. See if Rise can take this game back in control after that early lead that Ronin has been able to establish here.
Yes, they have. You're going to see these kills being picked up by Ronin, looking for one more. You see the team fight. Everybody whipped out those pistols. Couldn't get that down on Zerg, but they found that entry position to get up there top Stern and push their opponents out. And Ronin, they're just sitting pretty. They got a good, decent lead. They're looking good so far. And now, can they get one more? Zerpy's going to fall in that situation. Good kills by Ronin. And you're going to see, though, hey, Rise Nation, they're the ones with the lead in this round so far, but they're going to lose this neutral hill.
Have to give this one up. Rise with the fortunate situation of just having to really fight out of this difficult spot, but you got Sleeper on the winch. He's going to just guide, really dictate the pace of the battle here, get those crosses, and you love to see that kind of stuff. Avexy's had nowhere to go. They just shut him down right away from being able to do anything over at the docks. These rotations coming into, you clearly can tell that this squad has done their homework. They're making these rotations happen, and they're being very effective in doing so. Reflects in the scoreboard, but it also reflects in the gameplay, Blaze.
Yes, it does. And now we're on board with Drakes. He's about to push up. He might catch somebody with their pants down. And
no.
Not today.
No.
He's going to fall in that fight.
He had that belt tight.
He
really
was
ready.
Did. But Avexy's pushing up, looking to work with his teammates to clean up his kill, but you can't let Denzo pick up one of those kills out of that situation. The scoreboard is going to be in favor of Ronin, and they're going to secure their home hill in this one. This is going to be a Ronin round, and they're going to take this 6-1 lead.
I cannot believe it, man. I just didn't expect Rise to struggle this much at the start. I did not expect this.
You know, but see, this is Rise's, you know, this is their new team's first time out on the main stage. Ronin has been in this position plenty of times. And don't get me wrong, this Rise roster, they've had plenty of reps on this main stage beforehand.
Yep.
But this is a big matchup for them to kick off this day. This is the top two teams in that pool, and whoever wins this matchup most likely will come out #1 in that pool.
This pool has just become very interesting with how Ronin is performing here, because you also got to factor in Echo Fox as well, right? Like Echo Fox plays, they're the headliners of this pool. They're looking to move forward here. But if Ronin keeps on performing like this, I mean, you know, everyone just needs to take note. This team is here to, they're here to play, they're here to contend in Las Vegas. So now we're going to start round number 8. A little bit of a scuffle going on, and it seems like it's going to be all Ronin. They do have the numbers, though. Chaos is going to get removed from the equation of Vexy's. Dancing around the pillars. Oh, there's a 9. He's getting the kills, but he won't be able to stay alive. That will be full control for Ronin as they manage to secure that E-Hill.
This is going to be big plays for Mortified. He can't get it. He's very, very weak. He's going to end up falling in this situation. He tried to stay alive as long as he could. He overextended to his opponent's home hill so he can draw the fight towards that side of the map. But as the rest of the Rise members spawn up, they need to get their home hill. They're just one round away from losing map number 1. And it looks like Ronin should be able to do it. Domination coming through. And Ronin takes map number 1 against Rise Nation.
Unbelievable. Ronin coming out the gate swinging against Rise here, fellas. And I just, again, I'm still, not to, you know, belittle Ronin. I just never thought this would happen.
No, not at all. I would like to point out, at the end of the 7th round, Rise Nation, they actually had only 2 players with more than 10 kills on that team.
Jeez.
Waldo, that team is based around team fire. What else do they need to do in order to face a team with slayers such as Ronin?
They need to start matching up a little bit better. I think the problem is that Vexy's and Zerpting were a little slow to start the game, and if you're not picking up kills on your slayers, your support players are kind of, doesn't matter how much you're team firing, if they're not picking up kills, you're not going to win those engagements. And honestly, they looked a little flat there. I don't know if it was an energy thing or their, you know, start of the day, but they need to pick it up, but because they can't continue like this, they're going to lose the match.
So if you're the captain of Rise Nation, Golden Boy, what are you telling your team right now to keep their momentum high?
Well, I think it's, you're essentially looking at everyone and saying, you know, we are better than this. We are better than what was it, 7-1?
Yeah.
Yes.
You know, we are better than a 7-1 loss here. So it's time to step it up. It's time to show why Rise picked us up, to show why we were so formidable in the 2K. You don't want people to go home and say they're an online team. That's the worst thing.
Right.
No one wants to be known as an online team.
The online warriors. You know, it used to be a good thing in Gears. It's not good when you don't show up on LAN, though. It ends up being a problem.
Yeah, exactly. So, I mean, you're really just talking about, like, you know, how are we going to rally the troops, get ready for this game 2. You got to shake that off, and now it's just time to move on.
Yes, with Ronin, we've seen the story before. Ronin, they always start off hot, but they never finish through. Do you think that we might see a different story with them this event?
They're looking like it. They actually came out super strong there. I think Monkeys is a good dimension to this team. It adds another threat that they needed to have. And honestly, it works out. Even in the control of the Embar control, they didn't just put it in Chaos's hands. They gave it to Sleeper. They were multiple people picking it up. When you have multiple power weapon threats, it allows your team to have a little bit more freedom to have play for map control and play for positions over trying to take these crazy engagements all the time.
Yes, Ronin absolutely came through the door swinging. But I would like to see if we can learn a little bit more about Ronin.
I can describe Ronin like a Latino power because all the persons in Mexico and Latam have confidence in us. This Ronin is different. I feel more like a family, you know? Like we feel good, we feel different, and we are practicing so much, we will win this event.
So Blaze, 7-1 on Harbor, we're going to reclaim. Is this map built for the team fire and teamwork of Rise Nation or the slaying prowess of Ronin?
It's definitely built for the slaying prowess of Ronin, I personally felt like. But, you know, on a map like Reclaim, you can play either one of those styles, depending on how you set up. Like in that opening fight on Bowl, you can bait your opponent in there and use that team fire to cross them out. You know, so we're going to see what type of play style we see in this one. But that first map was Rise Nation's map. That was the map that they picked, and they lost at 7-1, and this is Ronin's map pick.
Oh, yeah, so it's the 2 slayers of the team with the Vexes and Zerpting. How important is it that they start off hot to help their team excel against Ronin?
I mean, honestly, they need like 2-0 immediately. Just straight domination from the beginning for Rise. They have to simply push that game 1 aside and move on.
I think the other thing that they need to do is they have to favor that aggressive play style and going into the bowl in the first half, and they have to come out firing on all cylinders. If they start flat again, they're going to lose this series.
Yes, Rise Nation, they definitely have to pick it up to keep their hopes alive. You definitely do not want to start as a 3rd seed in their poll, so we're kicking this off on Reclaim, Ronin against Rise Nation.
You gotta love it, man. You want to see a team come out and just show up. You want them to show up and shock the world, and that's what Ronin is looking to do right here, especially with that new pickup in Monkeys. I doubted it. I doubted it, Blaze, but now I'm a believer.
And you know, you said you was like, yeah, I ain't trying to step on no toes early on. I know the Latin American region, which is like Gears of War's biggest fan base, is looking at us like, oh, y'all doubted them? Y'all doubted them early on? You can't be sleeping on Sleeper now.
And look at that right away. They just roll up in there, and that is going to be Rise Nation. Full control on B. So this is what you wanted to see from Rise right out the gate. Just we said it all these like 3-4 times. Swing, swing, swing. Go for the fences. Don't let them get comfortable. Don't let them get complacent with this and just constantly have them on the back foot.
Yeah, you know, they need to come out and get off to a good start, a better start than what they got off to in map number 1. Kicking off with, going to be on board Mortifiers, and we're going to start to see Ronin push up in there and looking to get control. Rise is doing a good job holding off so far. Mortifiers looking for a chunk over the top, but you're going to see Sleeper. He's going to get a kill. Mortifiers going to back up, regroup with the team. They have the hill capped up, but you're going to let Ronin push up on you. They need to get some of these kills, and they're going to trade off on this one. Sleeper falls. Frank looking for his last 1v1. He's going to connect with that shot, but has to reload, and he's going to fall. So Ronin, they're going to get control over B, but they have control over both home hills as well.
This is a scary situation to be in. It's all going to come down to a Vexy's here. He's going to be very weak, ends up getting down, and they will have a teammate there on the pickup. So good news for them was that they were able to get immediately to their home on C and regain control. But now it's going to be that fight for B. You're going to look for Chaos here to just kind of zone them out.
So what's going to end up happening is that we're going to have this push coming in for Rise now. You see the smokes are flying out. They got some players stunned. They're looking for that opening. But you see that last-minute smoke coming out from Ronin. That may mess up the push of Rise Nation. They trade off these kills. One player will fall as well. They're looking to get in and break this hill. Good kill by Vexy's. He needs to help his teammates out. Shotty out. He's left in a 1v2 situation against the Me Shield as well. He gets one, can't get the next. But he will get the hill decap, but once again, Ronin is still going to be in control over that B hill.
But you look at how those kills came through, right? The kills for Ronin were a little bit more staggered. So that's going to allow Rise to be able to push up and have more numbers on B. And you know, theoretically, they should have gotten control of this one because they had more players on the push up there. Just not the case. That is going to be Ronin reclaiming that territory yet again. We'll make sure we get that flip for you guys, as I believe it will be the Locust will be Ronin and Rise will be the Cog.
Yes, they will. All right, now over the top, Chaos is going to be able to land a good shot. That's going to be 2 players falling down for Rise. You see the scoreboard, a good 20-point lead for Ronin. Drix has to defend his home hill, but this round is going to be all she wrote because nobody's going to be able to overextend to the other side of the map and decap that Ronin home hill. Ronin goes up 1-0.
Ronin already starting it on the good foot, like the way they did in map number 1, taking the first point. That, you know, it was a drawn-out round though, so the credit to Rise, because that last one, I believe, when we were talking and we looked at it, that was a very quick first round. So Rise are clearly adapting.
They set the tone on Harbor very well. I'm curious to see this weapon selection. What are we going to get put down? So this early on, they may choose to go for the dual slots, is which I'm thinking, because both teams are very, very talented with Hammer Burst, Marx's, Retro Lancers as well. So maybe they set the tone for those slots, or they go down and they put something on top Manor. And it's looking like they may want the sniper down, which I wouldn't think that's going to be a good play, especially if you're rolling. If you've been winning this engagement over and over in this B hill, put down a weapon, because you know most likely you're going to get rewarded for it and winning that team fight. You have so many talented snipers on your team as well. I like the sniper placement by Rise Nation. Sorry, I like the sniper placement by Rise Nation because Drake, Vexy, they're going to make good work with that one.
Matter of whether or not they're going to be able to get it. That's the thing, right?
It's going to kick up with this opening.
Can they win that first fight? And you see a typical 4-4 push here onto B. A lot of activity. You always want to try and prioritize that high ground here. Vexy's on the push-up, looking for one inside of the smoke, but he's going to get chunked instead by Monkeys. That new pickup here is going to pick up a double. He's going to go in for the triple. Your boy's hungry. He wants to eat. I love it. That's what you want to see. And now That push toward A is starting to happen. They have that snipe control, and this is exactly what we talked about before at the start of the round, Blaze. Oh, that's great that they're going to throw down a long shot up there. Question is, can they manage to get bodies and pick it up? Nope, doesn't seem like that's going to be the case. Ronin go up by 2.
All I saw in round number 1 was just monkey business on the main stage.
Love it.
Okay, he's just coming through.
I'm going to get on you like
kills.
a spider monkey.
Exactly, right? And he ran through those boys, got 3 clutch kills. So Rise Nation on the second weapon placement of the map.
And put down something, you know. I don't think it's going to change anything if they keep approaching those fights like that and let monkeys come out with the kills.
So at first I was going to say go for the dual slots, but this is one thing about Ronin, and they need to understand is if they did their homework on Ronin, they know that Ronin loves the incense on this map. They love putting down dual incense and using those to fight up top and down low. So if Rise Nation is cool with that, then maybe they're playing passive and saying, hey, Ronin, you know, put down the dual incense. We're completely fine with it. But if that's something that they don't want to deal with, then what I would be doing is I would be locking up those dual spawns right away. They go for the block mid. That's a good subtle placement early on.
See now if monkeys can shine yet again, as it will be actually a blue swarm all over B, and they have managed to win out that positioning, but Zerfing kind of caught between a rock and a hard place here. But it won't matter because he actually shatters the rock and the hard place. He don't care about my terrible puns and jokes. He's just going to push in and dominate. They did manage to get control of the sniper. You said you wanted to see if Vexies grab that long shot there, but he won't have it for too long as Chaos pushes up, punishes him there. Getting a little overzealous with that long shot.
Yeah, he picked up that snipe. He backpacked it. You know, Vexies got in and tried to make those plays, but ultimately, once again, Ronin won his opening initial. So Chaos, he has his teammates having his back, trying to get some shots over that cover, pick up some chunks, and you see Desnite, the smoke's gonna come out, wasn't able to stun Mortifies, but it does enough for him to back out and regroup with his teammates, so Ronin can fully lock down his position up top. Now, they don't have the B-Hill cap just yet, and Drix will pick up a kill. That's just the pressure that Rise Nation has so far. But Dezo, he may go for the flank. Yep, he's just going to choose to help his teammate try to get up here as soon as possible. Zerfing Mortifies, clutch kills Frank as well. So good teamwork by Rise Nation to regain control over the B-Hill and hold the 2-cap. But in this situation, you don't want to give Ronin time to breathe. So once you pick up those 3 kills in succession, play for the home hill like they're doing now.
All right, they are getting aggressive. Adverse, he basically just got mollywopped in the corner, and that is going to be a denial, but they should be able to hold this one down. A couple members of Ronin push forward, but they're just going to stop them at the door, and that is going to be 2-1. Rise finally clapped back, but they needed to make it happen. KO's getting motivated and loud. I've seen this guy pop off many times on the main stage in the past, and you need a guy like him to just get loud, get his team focused. You could tell he's just the general of their squad. He's telling everyone what they need to do, how they need to do it, when they need to do it.
And that's what you need, especially when your team has a devastating map 1 like that to kick off your tournament. That's what good leaders do. You're able to bring your team back in this, bounce them back, and get them refocused. So we saw the weapon placement, and we saw Ronin opted to put those marks down. So that's going to be very, very huge. Now, we'll see who picks it up on the side of Rise Nation. It may be in the hand of Drix, maybe Mortifies, but Ronin, very, very talented marks of players. We may see Adverse pick this one up. Him or Sleeper, one of the two. We're going to see who gets it. It's going to be Sleeper versus Zerfing with those marks. Now, if you can get just a few headshots on these guys on bows, just get that damage in and let your teammates do the rest.
Here comes the fight for B. Nice. Mortifies, takes out Dezo, but Chaos is looking to cause some problems, but he won't be able to stand tall for long. B's going to go straight over to Rise Nation, and they're going to be able to get that sniper rifle to boot. Look at that there. Love that push-up. Love that pressure. Sleeper.
He shouldn't be able to get out of this situation.
Yep.
You hate to see the misroll. You're going to see him get punished, but he needs to make it to this B-Hill in time. Will the domination go through? No, we're going to have a break on C. Nobody was there to stop it, so very, very close one. Mortifies has a 1v1. He needs to take it quick, but he is going to have some help from his teammates. At that point, when that help comes in, you just need to back out of there. Just give yourself some space, and you don't need to be that close to your opponent. So this B-Hill will be lost, and we'll go in control of Ronin for now, or Rise with the lead.
Vexies dropping back. Just a lot of players up top that are forcing him in this position here. He's going to have to take this fight, as he will have support. Now the calls came through. They managed to pick up their teammate who was down just a second ago, and it seems like a pause came through here.
Somebody needs to touch that controller. That's all that is. Controller a little idled out over there. You gotta watch it on that host box. You know, but we're going to be hopping right back in this one very, very soon. Get a little start going on. But, you know, so far, Rise Nation trying to battle their way back in this one, and the game's going to get started. They're going to get refocused right away, and we're going to hop back into this one. So apologize about that one, folks, but things happen.
You know?
Things happen.
Live event environment. Stuff happens, but what's happening here is that B, it's in control of Ronin. No one has been able to get in front of them here, but now Avexy's, he was so low that he got tagged up by that snub quite a bit. Mortifies now in this fight, in this 1v1, but he won't be able to live long enough. He was getting crossed pretty tough there. Here comes Drix, so he needs to push up a goodbye, Drix. Back to the respawn for you, my friend, and that will be Ronin claiming that 4th round.
Still coming out with the kills in that one. We'll see how does Rise want to approach the weapon selection, you know, post round 4. But what's already on the map? We saw the Marxes, we saw block mid map, we saw snipe down. Now we got 2 locations. We got 2 dual spawns. We got a spawn down low as well. Now the question is, if you're losing a fight up top so many times, maybe you want to put a boom shot down low and start focusing towards the second half of the map. And pretty much what that would do, because when the hills get flipped, that neutral hill will be down low in workshop. So that's where we're going to start to see our team engagements, unlike up top of the bowl. So at this point, if you're just like, hey, things aren't working out up here, that's when you put that boom shot or that drop shot down low and start worrying about the future and starting to see what Ronin is running so you can get the early jump on them and try to figure them out.
It feels like Rise, they really just want to go toe-to-toe against them. With that hammer burst drop, that's what that tells me. They don't really want to worry too much about prepping for the future. They are more living in the now, Blaze. That's what's very apparent to me.
And with 18-second respawns, as long as they can get these open initiatives, you can definitely get quick domination on this map. But you saw the flank come through for Rise Nation, and they trade off on those kills, but they managed to make it in. Monkey's got caught with his pants down. That's going to be 4 down. Last member up. They shouldn't let anybody else get kills down. This should be a domination for Rise, and this is going to be good for you to get on the board. And that's the beauty about these higher respawn rounds with 18 seconds. If you win that open initial, you should be good.
Seems like they're going to do this. Only one player is going to come up with that respawn, but it won't matter all that much. Rise will be able to get that one on the board. 3-2 now. And I said, you know, when they put down the hammer burst, because you were talking about like that prep moving forward, but it feels like Rise, they feel, based on how they've been playing, that they could simply just go toe-to-toe with Ronin. Despite the scoreboard, despite the losing game 1, they are that confident in their 50-50s and their 1v1s to be able to challenge
and
that.
So far, when I've seen Rise kind of playing that matchups, that Harbor has always been their map number 1. That's been their go-to. But I've seen them get destroyed on it every single time.
Yeah.
And, you know, so I wonder, you know, hopefully, you know, I get to see them this event and really shine on that Harbor map. But so far, Reclaim, they're looking a little bit better. But it's going to be an important round because going into the half, 3-3 will do wonders for your team and your confidence.
Viper B starts now. Let's see if anyone who's going to really get that first blood here.
They gave it to him. They gave him that B fight, but the question is why. And I think that's because it's a heavy push down low.
Yeah.
And they're going to be able to get those kills, get those nades. They're going to use these nades to nade out that bone. Also, they're able to catch some players off guard as well by transitioning towards middle map. So as Rise was expecting a big team fight, that's not what they got. Kobe going to pick up 1, not able to get the second, but the kills are in their favor and the man advantage. Ronin should be able to take this round.
Yeah, significant respawns now. Domination. Drake's the last man standing here. Can he do anything? He denies it for the time being, but there's not enough people to be able to get there in time, and that will be Ronin 4-2. 3 rounds away. They're looking to shut this one out, and that will set a huge precedent in this group, honestly, because we had Rise. I think a lot of us had Rise moving forward, you know,
yeah,
in that winner side.
And, you know, that probably would have been my big upset pick over the weekend. Just because of Rise, I just want to see what they can do on a big stage on LAN. You know, I try not to focus too much on online things because, you know, I just know how these teams practice and how everything goes down. So it's all about how you play on LAN. And right now, Ronin is here to play. But that last round, the mistake by Rise Nation, when they realized it wasn't being contested up top for bowl, they should have pushed out and got those 2 kills right away and pushed off on the half. But folks, we are going to be in a halftime, and these respawn timers will drop back down to 10 seconds.
Hills have flipped, so the fight will be for the workshop, and Rise have control of it for the time being. So that's going to be 2 Hills in their hand, but Avexy's, though, as soon as they push forward, Avexy's had no chance to be able to get out of there at all. He just got caught 100% with his pants down in that situation. Zerfting manages to get the double on that one, so that's going to keep Rise very much in this fight. Here comes Monkeys again. Monkeys, this dude has been nasty.
You can't catch him. You can't catch him. He's just in there picking up those kills left and right. So 2-heal advantage in favor of Ronin. But hey, these 10-second respawns, you see all 5 players of Rise Nation already spawned up, and it's looking like they're going to start to rotate over towards these home hills and try to take over that high side of the map.
Yo, shout out to Little Reaper. He's trying to be our friend. not today though, my friend.
Not today.
Today.
You can't come out here. No new friends today.
Yeah, we have no. We're not taking new friends. You know, that's it. You know, our time is valuable. Oh boy, but anyway, comes the Vexus. He's dancing around here.
He's looking to push in, looking to regroup with his teammates. Double teaming the meat shield, gonna knock the meat shield down. The pressure coming off from the left. That Sleeper able to get one. Sleeper gets aggressive. I love it.
Oh!
But that's a big kill by Drix. And actually, I take that back. That was a Vexies. Big kill by Vexies. He was in a difficult situation with a Lancer over the top, but still managed to pick up those 2 kills as well.
As we just hit that 100-point threshold here. Wise enough, Dezo just opting to back up. He knew that he knew a couple members of Rise were going to start to engage. He's just waiting for that support, waiting for that help, but they just run right at him. Zerpting gives him no room to breathe. He was focused so much down the sights that he did not see that player pushing up, and now this is going to be Rise with control and the lead, 136, 137, and counting. But here comes Monkeys. Monkeys, don't give it to him, baby.
Looking for it. He wants to hawk this guy down. Most importantly, he wants to decap this kill before he does anything else. Now he's going to have some help over the top. Going to get a good shot in. I'm loving the movement. He gets the down. He stays aggressive. Oh, no.
Oh,
he gets him as well, and he's going to have some help off the revive. And you see Dezenite has his back as well. I love how Ronin retook that neutral hill. And now Rise is trying to contest, but this fight has not stopped yet, folks.
Monkeys is the real deal, man. We were talking about him before. How's he going to gel with this team? It's very clear that the team needs to gel with him because he moves in and he makes plays. That's what Monkeys does.
And when you have young, talented players like that, G, you just tell them, hey, go off and get these kills. Do what you got to do. And your veteran players kind of watch over them. It's like, you know, when you take your kids to the mall, they run around, but at the same time, you know exactly where they are at all times. So they're watching over him and making sure they give him support fire so he can succeed in these team fights.
KO not able to stay up on that one, and that is going to be a win by points, a swarm victory for Ronin, 5-2. And Ronin just 2 rounds away from closing this one out 2-0. Again, I'm just going to share my, I don't want to say my shock, but a little bit of my disbelief. I simply just did not expect a 2-0 on Ronin's side.
See, this the thing is that, like I said, this is probably one more of my upset picks. Just because the fact is that Ronin looked good. You know, I saw their prep work beforehand. They were feeling comfortable as well. But, you know, Rise, the same thing. You know, Rise, I was watching Rise do that prep work. And these guys, they were looking good. They were looking good beforehand. We saw them, you know, on the rise every single week in those 2Ks, getting better. But Ronin is showing that, you know, that practice that they got yesterday in that LAN on top of Monkeys is just, it's hard to deal with if you're Rise Nation.
That's right. Monkeys also has 16 kills, a sweet 16 on that one. Dezo, though, with the stop onto Mortifies. But Vexies, though, he's looking to live. He's looking to stay alive, but he won't matter because Monkeys, again, luckily for Vexies, Zerpting was there to pick it up. The boom shot's down. And this is going to be very interesting to see how Ronin are going to have to play out of this one. Drix, big kill out of him, as now they're looking to engage on F. They have to be very wary of this boom shot player. Zerpting, he's just waiting to see if anyone's going to come around the corner, and he's going to pop him with the boom right away, just delete him, send him back to respawn.
So when it comes down to like our young talent in this matchup, it's like Zerpting, it's a Vexies, it's Monkeys. And Monkeys being the newest guy out of these 10. But if I'm a Vexies, I'm pissed because I'm going to feel like, yo, Monkeys is trying to steal my shine. At this point, I got to turn up, you know. You got to, when it comes down to the main slayers on both teams, you got to, you know, acknowledge them, and you got to figure out where these guys are. You got to pick them off, figure out their character, and be like, hey, you know, there's Dom right there. You got to hunt them down. You got to keep these guys, you got to keep them from picking up momentum, so to speak.
Right.
Bad boom, but the kill still gets picked
Exactly. I was just about to say that, right? Like, despite the boom, it's just the presence of the situation. They're able to back each other up despite missing that one. They're going to have a significant lead, over 100 points now, as Zerpting pushes up onto the home F. And there's only going to be 2 members to deal with this. Adverse, do you make it happen? Are you superhero? No, you're just going to get knocked out. Done. And the domination, KO. He's trying to meet him at the front door. But instead, he's just going to leave without his head. Monkeys now, Do you have what it takes to push in there, make that play happen? They're denying that domination here. It's all going to be up to Monkeys. He pushes up, but he won't. You know what? I give him credit. He tried to be a superhero on that one. Adverse, same thing there. Basically just a repeat of that situation, and that will do it as Rise managed to get their third round win, or their third win in this one, 5-3.
Now, Rise, they're definitely still in it. And that's a good round for them. They got control over Boom Shot. They got control over the round, and they were very patient and slow and methodical, and they closed it out. You know, they dotted their I's, crossed their T's, and made sure that when Ronin started to respawn, that they had to contest that home hill, and they just funneled them into those shotguns. So I didn't get a chance to see what the weapon placement was on that one. It was the Marks. Okay, so Marks is getting put down again. Ronin loves him. They're saying, hey, let's get that in the hand of Adverse so he can go out here and make these plays. But this Boom Shot, whoever can control it, especially with these respawn timers increasing every single second, everybody's life matters that much more.
Here goes the initial engagement. Smokes go in. Monkeys, they are able to get the boom, but immediately lose 2 in that exchange. And it's going to be Rise who went out on the workshop, and now they're just going to look to push up. And, you know, credit where credit is due there for Rise Nation. They let them get that boom right away, but they use that opportunity, that opening, to push up and punish them in that situation. And now that's going to leave Sleeper to have to defend this by himself. Now we'll have a teammate there alongside him. And the Mark said, look at the damage that it outputs there. As Chaos gets it down onto KO.
And this is good. They forced him back. Also, the other plus in this map was that we saw Ronin get that boom shot. They only shot 1, and the other one got pocketed, so that's going to be out of play. So that's a win for Ronin, at least in that opening engagement, that Rise wasn't able to use that to kind of secure that domination on top of that home hill. But now Ronin looking to regain control over the neutral. They're going to force these guys back. You're going to have a Vexies and Zerfing calling for help, looking for some backup, and here comes the rest of the unit.
And they're still gaining points in all of this, so that is a valuable thing at the very least. Even if the stop comes now, they have enough players around there with some presence. KO, those got to drop that Lancer, bust out that Nasher, and just get to work if possible. That's going to be 1 down. Monkeys, he's out of the fight, but his teammate immediately for that pickup. And this has just been a clinic that Ronin has put together on Workshop, forcing them back completely.
Now, so this was a good timing on the fight that which Ronin won, but what Rise Nation is going to have to do, they're going to have to spring into action quickly because this boom shot's going to be spawning in less than 30 seconds. So they're going to have to get in position. Even if they suicide for it, you can't allow Ronin to get this boom shot and start gaining map control. So I'm pretty sure they're very aware of it, and they're ticking down 20 seconds to the boom shot. We're going to start to see Rise Nation flood this hill.
Big chance for Rise here. They know that it's coming up. Surely their coach is aware as well, but look at that. I mean, losing 2 players right away.
That can't happen.
Yeah, they can't happen, but that can happen, though. KO, huge plays, needs to get his buddy.
I like the revive option. Oh, they need to get the pistols. If he gets, okay, he did get down around the corner, so that's good for Rise Nation fans. Misroll by Frank, trying to stay alive. He just needs to get cover, let his teammate help him. They're able to get that kill. Didn't see, looking on the weapon slots, see, okay, the boom did get picked up. It's in the hand of Mortifies. So
he picked it up, but he couldn't pocket it in time. He ended up getting down right away.
So the boom, he's going to have 1 left in the chamber, and Rise Nation with a lead. They just need to defend the home hill. No point in playing for domination. Start to just hold down these 2 hills. It's going to be very, very difficult, damn near impossible for Ronin to break both these hills, especially with 1 boom shot in play.
1 boom shot, easy. Gets the kill onto Chaos around that as he tried to make that flank happen. And Rise going in for the domination, but that was more just a celebratory effort there because points came into a factor. And now Rise, look at KO, getting loud, getting loud. Let him know.
Yeah, and that's what you need out of your team leader. You need that intensity out of him. Especially when your team is in a difficult position. They got off to a slow start at map number 1, but map number 2, which is Ronin's very, very talented at Reclaim, Rise Nation is doing good, staying in this one. But what's most important is that you can't let these guys get to match point before you get to that 5th round, because then at that point, you know, we rarely see big comebacks in Gears of War when your opponent gets to match point.
Here we go. Got ourselves a game here, folks. Good way to open it up. And we got a lot of friend requests too. Waldo, you're very popular.
Yo, people love us.
I think it's Waldo personally. That's what I think it is. It's his beautiful smile.
This was his master plan all along.
Yeah, he just wants to become friends with everyone.
He was like, you know what? I'm gonna come to this event and I'm gonna make new friends.
So everyone, if you just want to be friends with Waldo, you know, that's all you got to do.
You know what to do. All right, man. But the boom shot did go in control of Rise in this engagement. It's going to be in the hands of Frank. We're going to have kills being traded off. 4v4 situation. Botak and Hand Observed. They're going to get one more kill as well. This will be a big round for Rise. They got control over the home hill. Now, Ronin funneled on top of their home hill. You see the last two players. One more spawning up as well. The boom shot, Frank. He has two in the chamber. He's going to connect with that one. The hill's going to get decapped. Domination going to start coming through.
All they need to do is just close this one out, get those kills, meet them at the front door, chunk them as soon as they push forward, and that is it. We got a tie game, folks.
Rise did very, very well getting those 3 rounds consecutively and to come back in this one, and now they're looking like they're starting to warm up. This is the Rise Nation in which we want to see.
Right back in this game, getting that boom was big early on, forced everyone to have to go back into that home, and thus ended that push. And look at that, just get loud.
And now Frank is ready to go now. He's ready to go. Yo, folks, I think this matchup actually just started.
I think so, too. I think so, too. That's going to make, if they end up winning this one, that's going to make Game 3 very, very interesting. But what do they like to put down?
So we got Marx's down. We got Botox as well. And the boom shots are already down. So we may have gotten a block up top if it was anything new placed. We'll see in a second with this overhead. Yeah, it was the block middle. All right, so Ronin talented with both these power weapons. Latin American region love that Botak a lot, but it's going to come down to this team fight down low. Who can control the boom shot? This is going to be very, very crucial. The boom gets picked up off the quick pick, but Dezo falls. Another kill goes in favor of Rise as well. They're controlling this, G.
Yeah, Monkey's just going to have to get out of dodge on that one. Not really much you could do in that situation. See if you can get something going, but no, he goes back for the challenge because he recognized that he had no chance in that engagement. 2 players left alive for Ronin here. And Mortifies with that down immediately. But the domination comes through, and Rise, man, they're looking to get the lead for the first time in this game. So close from being able to make this one into a reality here. That's going to be 3 down. Good night. Here we go. 6-5, Rise Nation on the board.
4 straight rounds for Rise Nation, and they're starting to wake up in this one. Now, Ronin, they were close to that match point. They were close.
So close.
To coming out. Like I said, this is the top 2 teams in this pool. Ronin would have definitely just secured that spot at number 1 in the pool if they would have won this one.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but one thing that I've noticed that Rise have done is that they look out for those initials right away. They get that first pick. That does not allow Monkeys, because Monkeys really thrives when he's able to go in and has a distraction. If someone else is distracting, Monkeys then just chunks, easy, picks up kills, and he's really good at that. But you saw in that last one, they went in for the dive right away, and they lost 2 members straight out. From there, it was a wrap.
And so what veteran teams do, when you know you have new players like that, you pick them guys out. You call them out. You pick them off one by one, and you find out their positions. And them taking out Monkeys early off in every round, Dezo as well, they're looking good. Boom gets picked up by Ronin again. So once again with the quick pick, so they get Boom and they pull it out. So this is good for Ronin, but they need to be patient. But you see the pressure from the Botak and the Marksa not allowing Chaos to get in a good position. Zerfing, he's going to find him. He's going to get in cover. Chaos is in. He's in the middle of the map, and this is not good for him. He's going to have to make some plays with this Boom.
Very true there. And
staying alive is crucial. You got the marks on the map. You got the Botak. Those long-range weapons is making it hard for Chaos to do anything with these boom shots, and nobody around him. When it comes down to that 1v1 matchup, boom shot versus Marksa, depending on the distance, Marksa is going to win every single time.
We're very popular today, Blaze. I don't know if you realize.
Super popular.
Super popular. The most popular. I feel like the prettiest girl at the ball. That's what I feel like here.
I wish I had this popularity in high school.
I know, right?
But you know what? Then maybe I wouldn't have gamed so much, and I like where I am right now.
Yeah, okay. Well, if you look the way you look now, Blaze, I'm pretty sure you would have been all right in high school.
So. I was that antisocial one. I just wanted to go home and play Gears of War tournaments.
I respect that.
That was it.
Got to do what you got to do here. 6-5, folks. Match point for Rise. So close from being able to make this one into a reality, but they have 4 members down right now. And this is going to be domination. We may be going all the way. Franco moves in there for that denial, but it's not going to be enough. 4 seconds. Mortifies. Bye-bye. You won't be able to do it. Dezo's just looking at him at that front door. We're going to that final round, round 13. Let's get it.
All right, folks. It's going to come down to the wire. This is going to be a big one. Ronin was just 2 rounds away from closing this out. Rise has made such a great comeback, but that's the first round in which they've lost, and I want to say the last 5, so that's good for Rise. Think about how you've been playing in the second half of this game. Now, Rise can remove any of these weapons off the map. What will they choose to do? And they're going to get rid of this mark, so they're going to put the hammer burst down, and I like that selection. You see how annoying Avers can be with it as well with that mark, and so just get it off, just more focus on that boom shot.
One thing I want to point out too, Monkeys, he had like 16, he was at 16 kills at one point. Hasn't really been all that effective. They found a way to neutralize him, and that has just led to this snowball victory little by little for Rise. It's all going to come down to this initial here. Who's going to get that first kill? Monkeys. And you know what? I was doubting you, Monkeys. I'm so sorry, man. I'm so sorry. He goes in. He gets that kill right away. 24 on the board for him. They have that beat presence. That's going to be another one. Zerpting goes down. Ronin looking to close this one out right here. If they do so, that's going to be a wrap. Another player. Bye-bye. Back to respawn with you. It's all up to Drix here.
I'm curious to see the route in which he's going to take. They know exactly where he is. He's full red. Not much he can do in this difficult spot. Just trying to look for that angle to stay alive. But they're going to find him. Decapping that home hill. Mortified can't get to the hill in time. And Ronin finds a way to get those last 2 rounds and close this one out 2-0.
I mean, listen. Ronin, they have a lot to be happy with. Winning that 2-0. But here's the thing. You let them come back and make this one into a very, very close game. You got to go back to the drawing board and look at the things on Reclaimed that you need to tighten up, because it's very clear that there was something wrong midway through that Rise were able to really exploit.
But you know, we saw flashes of brilliance from Rise Nation. We saw areas where Franco turned into his old self. He was pushing fights, he was winning fights, but it seemed like they just couldn't keep that flame hot for long. So what would you like to see change with Rise Nation's gameplay or their momentum heading on?
You know what? When it comes down to it, I just think they just kind of start off slow. Harbor is their map pick, but in that Harbor matchup, they just wasn't able to get anything going. It took them a while, but what they found that was very, very successful was taking out that main Slayer, taking out the guy who's been making those plays, making sure they called him out. But Rise, you know, they just got off to a slow start in this tournament, but they look good towards the end. But, you know, that's all you can really say about it. You're going to have to show up to play when it's time to play.
So, Golden Boy, everybody hyped up Monkeys.
Yeah.
Was it worth it? Did he live up to the hype?
Oh, without a doubt. Without a doubt. Monkeys play hard, and that's what you want. You want this guy who just joined his team. Everyone's going to be like, oh, man, you know, you guys probably don't have that synergy. You don't have that teamwork. It's just not going to work out. But what ends up happening is Monkeys, he's slaying. He's dominating. The thing, though, again, that you got to look out for was the fact that Monkeys was kind of silent in those final few rounds.
Yes.
Yeah.
And those are going to be the things that if Ronin wants to make a significant run in this competition, they need to look out for that. They need to be very cautious of silencing their new pickup and making sure that he could be effective each and every round.
And very, very quickly, I just want to say, can somebody make a gif of Frank right there in that one moment? Because I actually want that one.
It's heartbreaking.
it was a good one. That could be legendary.
Do-rag Franco.
It was. And, you know, if we're looking at the matchup, you know, Rise came out flat the first round. They were able to mount a comeback in the second game. But the big issue that I saw from them is, again, they're Slayers. They're young guns. You've got a Vexies. You've got Zerpting. They're starting off super slow. They had like 16 kills in the beginning of the game, and finally in the second half they were able to turn some kills around. But that's not how you wanted to start. You have to be consistently slaying. And then when you're starting in a deficit, again, Monkeys was such a terrible threat, picking up multiple multi-kills. He ended up being a huge influence on the game, and he even got the pick when a Vexies or Mortifies went in for the quick pick on Boom Shot, headshotted him, got the kill that completely turned the last round in favor of Ronin.
So a lot of people doubted Ronin once Identiv's left. Do you think that they found their solid replacement?
He looked good. He looked good in that one, and they're looking good so far, but I'm going to have to, you know, ask me that again on Saturday.
Well, I was going to say, ask me after they play Echo Fox.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's I think Monkeys for this matchup was the guy that they needed. Identivs is obviously, he has been kind of a, you know, just a stalwart name in this community, and also
phenomenal.
Just against these teams. But I think, like, you know, if Monkeys can do that same thing against Echo Fox, that's actually really
he
scary.
He would be a problem.
Yeah, then I don't know how they keep on churning these great players in Latin America. This is just bananas, bro. It's just like, oh, we lost Identivs. All right, we'll just get this other guy waiting on the wings.
Well, and I think they found the spot that they were trying to fix. You know, they've made a lot of roster changes. They've had a different fourth player or fifth player at every event. And so having somebody who's going to be consistently slaying and finding a new potential player that's going to end up filling the gaps for your team, it's going to give them that advantage going in, and nobody's played really against Monkeys. So this is a completely new look for other teams. They don't know his play style. They don't know his mechanics, so it makes it a little bit more difficult to read and know how to play against.
But I also want to correct a statement that I made earlier, because I was saying that this match is probably going to be #1 for the pools, and this is probably like that #2 matchup, because, you know, I didn't throw Echo Fox in that mix as well between the two of these guys. And I agree with you. The Echo Fox versus Ronin matchup, that's going to tell us a lot about what these guys are going to be made of and how far they're going to go.
Yeah. If they stomp them out 2-0 and it's like 7-1, then it's like, okay, it was a good pickup for like those other matches.
Yes.
But they're just not good enough to hit that upper echelon.
I feel like they made a huge statement with that win, though.
It's very true.
I want to see the Ronin from, what was it, Paris?
Paris, yeah. That was a that was a really good run, and they actually did what I tell teams all the time is if you're shooting for each other and your support players are there, it makes your Slayer's job easy. If I only have to hit one shot instead of two, that makes my job so easy, and then I can go and rotate around the map. Then we have numbers advantage. We can rotate around the map. We can play for the objective better. It just it works so much better in this when you're not trying to take these aggressive one-shot fights.
I just want to see them coordinate a little bit more on those crosses too. That was something that Ronin just did not really prioritize. It felt like, and I could be wrong here, I am the new guy, but it felt like they simply pushed forward. They allowed Monkeys to kind of get those slays, had their teammates be that distraction, but when it came down to the long game, they just were non-existent. But if you take that fight at neutral, which they were having on B and E, they were succeeding because of the chaos. They really thrived in that situation.
They were great on their initials.
Yeah.
They were completely outslaying Rise, and I feel like that's still Rise's problem. Franco stepped up mid-game, but we need to see more of that in the beginning. But I just want to give you guys an update. We will be going to our feature station soon, where we have Motivate going against the Fable Latin American team.
We got a score update on that first map on how that kind of panned out?
Actually,
he's going to find out right now.
Yeah, he's going to figure it out. Okay, cool.
That's it. Get on it. Call on production. The Gears Gods. That's what we should actually always call it.
We do actually.
The Gears Gods. Okay.
When I was in the back last year, that's what it was. It was Gears Gods.
Yep, Gears Gods.
So you referred to yourself as the Gears Gods.
Oh,
interesting.
That's who's ever back there.
They did. You know, probably like you're in the hotel and you're just like, hey man, if you want to call me Gears Gods,
I'm completely fine.
I'm fine with it. I accept that. You know, I mean, you're the most popular person in
I
Gears of
had
War
a ton
right
of friend
now.
requests this last game.
Yeah. Little do you know, Waldo denied all of them.
But going into this game, how do you guys feel about Motivate with their new roster with Pell, Soto, a champion as well? How do you think that they're going to do this event?
I think they have a lot to prove in that pool. You're looking at them as DeFazio as a shot caller. You have Pell and Soto who, you know, they work in those dimensions. Soto's more of a support player. It's definitely something that you want to watch and see. I don't know if they have what it takes to go deep, make a deep run, but we'll see how they perform here and how they perform against Optic later today.
Yes. Also, how do you feel about that team, Blaze? You have players such as DeFazio. We saw his leadership in Dallas. Would you like to see, call him your son, right?
Yeah. You know what? DeFazio, he is a great player. He's a great player, and he is a great leader. It's very, very rare in which you can find people who's able to do all those different things. Usually you either find a great slayer, you find either a great leader or a great support player. Very rarely you find somebody who have a little bit of all three.
Yeah. Well, being an all-around talent is always the most important thing. I think when you're able to fill the shoes of any particular role, and granted some may not be the best at certain situations and others may be, but when you're able to be, multifaceted, that opens the door for your teammates to be able to really capitalize on the utility you bring to the squad.
I would like to say that the in-game leader is extremely important.
Oh, yeah, for sure. I mean, IGLs are always important, no matter what game it is, man. You always want to have those comms, and I believe this is, so this is Motivate versus Fable LATAM, and we have jumped into the action here yet again.
And this is going to be map #2 for this one.
Yes, and
so this Fable LATAM team, second best place team, and we've been wanting to see these guys really kind of turn up and make a name for themselves, because I even said on Fight Night a while ago, I said, hey, the #1 spot in Latin America is wide open, but I thought what I just saw from Ronin, I'm going to have to probably eat my words on that one.
Yeah, well, Blaze, it's Vegas.
Yeah, that's true.
You took a gamble.
And, and I lose all the gambles I take. That's why I don't gamble often.
You know, you went for the roulette tables. You put it all on
All
red
on black.
and all on black, all on red, all on black, whatever. I'm more of an all on black kind of guy.
Yeah, same here. Same
All on
here.
black, and then I lose every single time, and that is why I do not gamble, kids.
So
Definitely
I've
something you
always
don't
been
wanna do.
scared taking the other bets on the numbers because I'm like, no, the odds on this is just dumb. Why would I do such a thing?
One time I threw down on 21, and then I was like, no, it didn't hit. It was like 20. And then the next game, go ahead, it was 21. After I didn't bet on 21, I was like, you know what, I'm done gambling. This is it. I have terrible luck. I'm a magnet, or I'm a magnet for failure. So now, as we take a look at this, Motivate, Fable, LatAm, Motivate are up, and this is looking to be domination here. And well, we've got a scoreboard update too. Is this the beginning of the first game?
Yeah, this is
Yes,
this is
first
game.
map
Yeah, there you
number
go.
2. Map number 2.
Soto finished the whole round without dying once.
And that's
Jeez.
beautiful. That just shows you when it comes down to Soto getting the dirty work done in his rotations and how good he is at doing that. Managing to cap hills, back out, help teammates, get to the other ends of the map, and putting himself in key spots where it's hard to kill him. And you need a player like that on your team.
I've always said a successful team needed a player like Soto. You needed a player that played smart. He always didn't try to play in a fancy way. He played to where he always supported his teammates. Now, how important is it to have a player like that on your team when you're at the top?
Well, all around jack of all trade players that if they can do anything, it adds a totally another dimension. They know what they need to be doing in every situation. Soto's always been one of those players when he was on United with Dispensa. That was one of those things that you got to watch. You had two really good support players that always were crossing for their team. They're always laying down the shots they need to be, and they always had good positioning. When you're doing that, again, it gives you a lot more control and a lot more freedom to start rotating around the map, and he's definitely fulfilling that right now.
I don't know what was placed. Just
Looked
a
like
second.
I think it was
Marx's, yeah.
Okay. Marks a place down. It's such a strong gun, man.
It really is, and especially even though they're making even more updates to it as well. But you know, if you're able to connect with those headshots, then you know at that point your opponent's just scrambling for cover, just trying to get their head down in that same process as well. So in the right hand, it's a very, very scary weapon.
It doesn't headshot right now. Just everybody be aware, it won't do that right now. There is a quality of life stuff somewhere down the line where headshots will be coming back, but right now it's just a super strong long-range rifle. It used to be able to two-tap people in the head with an active, so they disabled that for competitive for a while. But definitely still a very good weapon in the right player's hands. You know, we talk about other players that are in this tournament. You can look at Adverse and Sleeper from Ronin. You can look at Kyle from Echo Fox. Even the explosives from Optic Gaming, they can put that weapon to usage, and it does a lot in the support fire role, but it also opens up those avenues for other teams to make plays.
So now you have the M-bar that was just put down over by maintenance, so that is going to be that fight for B even more important now. It's going to be a fight for that power weapon and a fight for that hill placement. Let's see what's going to happen here as Anthrax begins to push up. No kills quite yet. He was anticipating a player around that
Does he
corner
want to push that 1v2?
I mean, I wouldn't, but he seems to be very keen on doing so. And he ends up paying for that one dearly, ends up getting down right away from Heza. I'm saying that name right, Heza, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
I just want to make sure, guys, you know.
It's okay.
I can
you're
only
allowed
try.
to ask those questions.
I'm allowed. You know, if I do another event and then they're like, hey, you're still getting these names wrong, then it's okay. Fine.
He can just be like, I'm new here.
Don't worry. Like I do it all the time, G. And I've been here longer than you. I still butcher them.
Can we get a sufficient?
Like, is that AA Ron?
Hey, Ron. Is that Ron over there? Nah.
Sufficiently is easy now. That's been and gone. I got that done.
There we go.
Done in 24 hours.
Big one.
The good thing that ended up happening at the start of that round, though, is they were able to quick pick the M-bar and pocket it before he ended up getting killed, so they took the weapon off the map, so it didn't really cost them too much. Yes, you go down and get into the respawns, but that power weapon's down for a minute 30, so that does give you a little bit more range of control.
We got Soto, who's looking to just support his teammates from the backfield there. Anthrax lands you down. He has a teammate in the scuffle, too. Ended up getting that down onto Pell, but Pell and Soto really supporting each other very well.
I like this position by Anthrax.
I was going to say, man, you know, because you had Vital who was able to push up, but immediately had to back away because he was just getting crossed. He really couldn't be all that effective. And now Soto's left by himself over in the back.
And you can't let him get 2 kills out of this situation, and he will fall. I almost did get 2, and it's just like, you got to just take that wide. You can't be up A those corners right away and expect to take out a veteran like Soto.
There's 2 things I like right there. Motivate, they Wolfpack. They pushed the group to capture that home hill. But also what Fable did, they didn't panic and push them one by one and die. They waited to regroup and push them back out. And I feel like that's essential for success in this game.
I think the other thing that Motivate has an advantage, we talked about Hez's playstyle in the past. Heza is super aggressive in those situations, and he'll keep pushing that pace the entire match that he's doing it. Even though they're going to, Fable Latinam is going to end up taking the second round there. Or Heza's always going to be flying at you. It doesn't matter what it is. He'll wait around a corner, he'll wait for his opportunity, and then he'll pounce on you.
And that's what you need out of a player like Heza. That's going to be one of your mainstays on his team. And one thing that makes Heza such a great teammate is his energy. And he has a positive energy between that, the kills, and everything else. You just got to stick with him. You gotta let him do his thing, so to speak. And, you know, let your team come out and make as many plays as they can. But when it comes down to your main slayers, you got to make sure that those guys are in good positions and they're going to have some help as well.
You know, players like Heza, I like them because they're fearless. They run in any situation, and they're confident to get the 1v1. They're confident every single time. But those type of players, they have this tunnel vision to where they feel like they always have to have their shotgun out. You know, they run across the map with a shotgun rather than just pulling out the pistol or the lancer to, you know, weaken the guy or help out their teammate. Players like Heza, I feel like their ceiling is high, but they haven't reached it yet because it's certain fundamentals.
Tell you what, you just chunked the hell out of that one dude who tried to run away from him on that one as you were praising Heza. So you gotta love when you see that kind of, that kind of activity happen.
It's great because players like him, they're still learning. They're still learning.
Yeah, you're only going to improve over time, right? And especially with the structure of the Gears Pro Circuit, the amount of events, and just the constant competition that this game sees. I mean, as you mentioned before, that ceiling is very, very high. And if there even is a ceiling, because I mean, I don't know, I could be wrong here, but I remember watching, Gears back in, Gears 1, Gears 2, 3.
You watched Gears 1?
I watched everything. And, the plays and the way that we're seeing it now, I mean, it's getting even better because of the structure that has come through, the Gears Pro Circuit. The players have just leveled up their gameplay completely. But, different game type, though, so it is a different kind of world.
Yeah,
but
exactly.
over time, people are just going to look at the things that, the veterans have done in the past,
Yep.
and then just iterate on it and continue to improve.
What's really nice is when you see them mixing those combinations of play styles where they utilize the strafe and the wall bounce and moving around the map. You can see in like players like Franchise how his play styles evolved over the course of being a pro for as long as he has.
And I love seeing those mixes as well, but what I wish these players would take and evolve is the leadership and communication and composure of old school players as well. And take some of those characteristics. And, these guys, we see so many talented players, but I wanted to see teams really correcting their mistakes on certain things, really going to the drawing board, really watching film, and really holding teammates accountable for things that they shouldn't be doing.
Yeah, I think that just comes down to discipline plays. You have a lot of players that look at, oh, wait a minute, have I pick up? Did he get it? Nah, he got it. He whiffed it. Oh, there you go. No, never mind. I was excited for that one moment. I was like, oh, this is it.
But you know what it comes down to? They have this win now mindset. Rather than sitting back and correcting their mistakes and getting better in the future, they don't give themselves time to stay with teammates. Oh, there we go. He has it. They don't give them time to, work with their teammates to progress as a team.
No, they don't. They don't. That's a common issue across all esports. It doesn't matter what it is. Okay, I just did a Halo event. You have players that are just jumping rosters all the time in that community. But meanwhile, some of the most consistent teams in the game, right? Your Optics or your Toxins as they are now, and consistency breeds success, man.
It really does, and this may be something small, but if you notice, like especially when it comes down to games that are 5v5, you really can't be jumping around teammates like that because 5v5 games take so much teamwork. You really got to have that chemistry.
No, you really do. It's imperative, man, and because you just have to get a fifth mind, a fifth opinion involved, and then at that point, things can kind of muddy the waters, so to speak. You just want to make sure that you're always, on the same page, having all 5 people coordinate.
You have to be a family. There was an All Access episode where Optic, they were saying, you have to be brothers in this game. You have to understand each other. You have to trust each other. You have to hang out with each other. Because when you just have 5 random personalities, it's not easy to make everyone happy.
Yeah.
So you really have to have that camaraderie.
Well, you also have to be able to take criticism from your teammates, and that's the thing, if they're being like a brother, you've got to be able to have the other guy next to you tell you that you're messing up and you need to fix things.
Yep. And
instead of getting emotional about it, you take it in, compartmentalize it, and realize, okay, I need to change this, and then it's for the good of the team. We're trying to win championships here. And that's one of the biggest running standings for Optic, is that they have worked out their chemistry so well that they trust what other people are going to be doing.
By the way, Heza just destroyed every single person. Right, as we're talking about teamwork, he's like, I'll let you know about teamwork. Me and my Nasher, we're the team.
No, he's a one-man army.
We put it in that word.
My word, that is just crazy. That is domination, 3-2 for Motivate. Do you know, Motivate have a big matchup against Optic later on today.
Yes.
And I could be wrong here, but I believe Optic has, from time to time, kind of come out flat early on in tournaments.
Yeah, in their pool. We saw with Allegiance first, then we saw Fable, but that was more towards the championship bracket side. We saw it with Ghost at one time, with those guys kind of taking the map off them back in the day. But that's still a low percentage for Optic.
Yeah.
But if it's going to be any time in which you try to get the best of them, it's definitely going to be while they're in pool play on day 1.
You know what Kenny once said? Maybe it's because they're being a little cocky, but I think it was Kenny. He said, we play to the level of our competition. So if you see that, if you think that they start out a little flat, that's maybe why.
All right, boys. So let's put 5 players together, go play against Optic, because our level.
I don't know.
I see it on man.
Let's bring it down, man. Let's show what real Gears is. Everyone just the way Cliffy intended, just answers the whole way.
You know how it is. You just don't walk into a fight and use your instinct right away. Yeah. Where's the fun in that one?
Got to build up to it.
You think Goku's gonna start that fight against Hit and try and
ultra? He's gonna keep it.
He's gonna be Super Saiyan 1.
He's gonna keep it basic. He's gonna build up to
probably KO Ken. Just that's it. Easy.
You gotta love the Dragon Ball puns.
Dude, all my casts, even whether it's here, whether it's Halo, whether it's Overwatch, I always have Dragon Ball references. People it's down the middle. No, it's like either fellow anime fans, fellow weebs love it, or they just absolutely hate it.
Yeah.
And then that's when I bust out the wrestling quotes.
And then you're gonna find a medium with somebody. You're gonna find a middle ground
exactly
in which to connect them.
Easy.
But you have players here that do it as well. Fatal Strike, whenever he watches film or whatnot, he says he's in the hyperbolic time period. When it's event time, he's Vegeta all of a sudden.
Bro, man, we're all a little anime. It's just our community's a lot of anime. Yeah, that's it, dude. That's it. A lot of anime and a lot of wrestling. That's what I've noticed.
Yep.
I love the Gears community
You can
for that
never
one
be too
reason.
old for either, and that's the beauty of it all.
WrestleMania is a showcase of Immortals, according to Deluxe, and it's this weekend. I don't know if you know. Deluxe has told us that 15 times in 1 hour.
I know he's excited for it.
Yeah, it was very impressive stuff here. Very impressive stuff. So this game is actually kind of slowed down, just a little bit.
Has a little bit, because we're going to be in a 20-second respawn round. So both these teams being very, very cautious on the pushes in which they take. And we, at the same time, when we started seeing these kills trading off back and forth, you're going to just slow it down and wait for them to kind of respawn. So no team able to really get an advantage in this round 6.
Lift is one of these maps where you have to be watching your flank at all times because there's so many options of how to rotate through on the map, and especially on longer respawn times. Like, you rotate into their spawn and they don't see you, you can get a flank on 3 guys coming out of spawn and pick up another kills and set them on another 20-second respawn timer. So it allows for a lot of options here, and it makes it hard to control if you're not up on your rotations and trying to play for the map.
Yeah, that's where what we were talking about before, guys. That teamwork, that coordination is really going to come into play. And these longer respawns, it is brutal. At this point, Motivate now need to make something happen, or else round 6 is going to go to Fable. They've managed to, I think, stop A and B, so only 10 points remaining, but look at that. And that 20-second respawn is going to hurt so much, but that is basically going to be it. If they get C, all they need is 1. And they win this.
Ooh, nice shot.
Heza.
Dang. Nice headshot. If he'd hit it like a